a bit different what I usually take photos of. Anyway, hey guys, and welcome back to a new video. Today I'm gonna talk about something that every other photographer does. Aperture mode or aperture priority. So why do I shoot in aperture mode? Like 90% of my photography. It's kind of easy because I just don't like fiddling around with my settings, seeing the perfect shot go away from me meanwhile I'm trying to fix the camera. Aperture mode just helps me doing what's important, which is taking the photo without endless fiddling. So today I'm here at Molla Sawmill, about 10-15 minutes away from my home. And I didn't pass this place so many times and I always thought this would be really cool to shoot. And with my recent kind of direction towards documentary style of photography, I thought it was a good time to reach out and ask if it was okay to come here and do some photography and video film as well. And the owner said it was completely fine, so I have written permission. Don't worry. Anyways, the reason I shoot in aperture mode is because I hate fiddling with my settings all the time. Aperture mode just lets me stay in the zone and take in the scene as it is without having to worry about losing the moment because I had to change a bunch of settings on the camera. I keep just enough control of the camera, my camera's decisions, so I can adapt if anything unexpected happens, like a bird photobombing or something like that. When I do switch to manual mode though, is when I need fully control of my camera, and if it's tricky light or if I'm out on a coastal scene and I'm doing long exposures or stuff like that. But don't get me wrong, I'm not a settings purist or anything like that. I use the settings that I need to get the shot I'm after. This is nice. I love winter days. They're really nice. Reason number 2, control without chaos. I don't know if every mirrorless camera has this option, but I think most do, and I know a lot of DSLRs also has these options, but I set an auto ISO on my camera from my base ISO from 200 up to 1600. I think 1600 works really well on the OM 5. I think even 3200 in worst case scenario would work. And I also set the minimum shutter speed, which means that I don't have to care about the light changing at all, because the camera will control the ISO and the shutter speed depending on the light conditions. It's like having a photography assistant that actually listens. That would be me talking to myself. So how it works is basically the camera prioritizes shutter speed over ISO. So when I have it on my default setting here on A, it's 1/60th of a second, which is fine for days when there's no wind and no movement. But let's say I would have it on 1/200th of a second, and because I want to freeze the moments and there's not enough light, the camera will start to increase the ISO to compensate to keep a proper exposure. I don't mind a little bit of noise, to be honest. I think it gives a little bit of character to the photos. And also, I mean, people shooting film like it's 1975. Who cares about noise nowadays? I'm just gonna stand here and soak a little bit more because this is nice. Det är en kamera. I just noticed the camera over there. Anyways, I forgot to mention that if there's not enough light out and the upper limit of your auto ISO is reached, it will start to decrease the shutter speed instead. So if you have 1/200th of a second and your upper limit of auto ISO is reached, for me 1600 currently, it will start to decrease that shutter speed to keep proper exposure as well. to wrap things up, Aperture mode gives me that perfect balance between automation and control. It's like having a reliable co-pilot. You make the big decisions and they handle the routine stuff, so you can stay focused on your creative vision. So whether I'm photographing landscapes or spontaneous moments or whatever I do, Aperture modes keep me adaptable, and that's what I like about it the most. I think the group that has the most issues with this would be new photographers, because they think that pro photographers use manual mode for everything and manual only. Meanwhile, in the reality, most pro photographers use Aperture mode for most of their work, or even shutter priority if you're a wildlife photographer. So yeah. Well, I could talk about this all day, but I have other errands as well, like picking up my fiancée. I wonder if she's waiting. I really hope not, otherwise I may have some explaining to do. Anyways guys, if you enjoyed this video, give it a like and consider subscribing, I appreciate it a lot. But until next time, have a good day or evening whenever you're watching this. Out!